Good morning, everyone. My name is Christopher Mercozo, the third discussant for Group 1, and this is the continuation of the discussion by Mr. Simon Burico, and I will continue to discuss the remaining types of learner-centered psychological principles. Intrinsic motivation to learn. The learner's creativity, higher-order thinking, and natural curiosity all contribute to motivation to learn. Intrinsic motivation is stimulated by tasks of optimal novelty and difficulty, relevant to personal interest and providing for personal choice and control. When we say intrinsic, it's something that comes from within, natural, built-in, built-in sa sarili natin. So as a student, natural sa atin ang maging curious sa mga bagay-bagay. We enjoy learning things that spark our interest. Kung meron tayong nadidiscover na bago, kung nasa-challenge or kung nakaka-relate tayo sa isang bagay, we are more likely to enjoy and gustong pag-aralan yung bagay na yon without being forced or kahit walang prizes. Like for example, you learn how to play guitar because you love music. Not because someone told you to do it. Diba? Watching science experiments on YouTube. Kasi sabi mo sa sarili mo, ang cool nun. Or even memorizing TikTok dances. Kasi nakakaaliw. So, it's your personal choice, your personal interest. Okay? You enjoy learning things that spark your interest. Or like sa classroom setting. Gusto mo yung topic na dinediscuss or nililesa ni teacher, and you're more likely to participate sa klase. Not because may plus points, but because you have an idea na gustong i-share. Diba? So, intrinsic motivation is the desire to learn something because you enjoy it. You realize that you learn best when you're interested. And you have the choices in what and how you learn. So, next, effects of motivation on effort. Acquisition of complex knowledge and skills requires extended learner effort and guided practice. Without learners' motivations to learn, the willingness to exert this effort is unlikely without coercion. Okay. Kung gusto mong matutunan ang isang bagay, syempre, it takes time and effort. So, without motivation, a student won't keep going when things get hard. But if they are motivated, so they work hard and won't give up easily. Kasi, motivation is what pushes students to try harder, to practice more, and to improve. So, let's say, gusto mong maging highest score sa exam. So, anong gagawin mong effort? So, syempre, magre-review, mag-study, para ma-aim mo kung ano yung gusto mong ma-achieve. Ano yung goal mo. Diba? Gusto mong matuto mag-bike. You practice. You make an effort. Kahit matumba ka, kahit maisangsang mo yan sa gilid, basta ang motivation mo is matuto ka. Diba? Sabi nga, diba? The greater the effort, the greater the glory. Okay? So when you're motivated to learn, you're more likely to put in time, focus, and effort. Kahit mahirap yan. Yung motivation helps you to stick with the task, to stay patient. The more effort you give, the more you improve. Next, developmental influences on learning. As individuals develop, there are different opportunities and constraints for learning. Learning is most effective when differential development within and across physical, intellectual, emotional, and social domains is taken into account. Okay, so as people grow, they change physically, mentally, emotionally, and socially, and all these changes affect how they learn. So a younger teen might need more help focusing, while an older teen might handle more complex tasks. So everyone develops at a different pace. Some students mature emotionally, while others might advance more quickly intellectually. So understanding these changes helps teachers and students adjust learning to suit their developmental stage. So it also helps students understand their own growth. Like for example, Kung dati, nung bata ka, nahihirapan ka mag-focus sa lesson ni ma'am, ngayon, as you grow up, mas naiintindihan mo na, mas na-appreciate mo na yung nililesson. And another example, kung mahiyain ka dati na makihalubilo sa classmates mo, ngayon, mas nagkakaroon ka na ng confidence at nade-develop mo na yung social skills mo. And another, kung noon solo ka lang kapag nagre-review, ngayon, meron ka ng kasama sa pagre-review mo. Kasama mo na yung mga friends mo. You're enjoying learning with them. Diba? So, yun yung developmental influences on learning. Next, social influences on learning. Learning is influenced by social interactions, interpersonal relations, and communications with others. We learn a lot through interaction with others, classmates, friends, teachers, or even family. Talking, listening, sharing ideas, and getting feedback are all part of social learning. Kasi humans are social beings, and communications help us understand more deeply. And learning with others improves your communication, yung thinking nyo, and understanding different perspectives. And also, it helps you to build a good relationship with others. Okay, like for example, nahihirapan kang intindihin yung lesson na tinuro ni ma'am, so you ask your classmate to help you to understand the lesson. Or even sa reporting, humihingi ka ng feedback sa teacher or sa classmates mo if maayos ba yung pag-deliver mo ng discussion mo. So doon, mag-i-improve ka. Diba? So, merong learning. So, merong social influences na nangyayari. So next, individual differences in learning. Learners have different strategies, approaches, and capabilities for learning that are functions of prior experience and heredity. Walang estudyante ang natututo ng sabay. So some are fast learners and others takes time, and that's okay. Everyone learns in their own way. What works for you might not work for others. So some students are visual learners, so they learn better with images. And some are auditory learners, so they prefer listening. And others kinesthetic learners, so they learn by doing. So these differences comes from personality, past experiences, and even genetics. Di ba may yung sinasabi na, there's no one size fits all in learning. Knowing your learning style can help you study smarter, and teachers can use different methods to reach more students. Like for example, you prefer na mag-study ng tahimik. Well, yung iba mas prefer na may background music para mas ma-retain sa kanila yung mga lessons or yung mga topics na diniscuss. And another is, ikaw gusto mong magbasa ng kwento and yung isa, mas gusto or mas prefer panonood ng video. So, there's a individual differences in learning. Next, learning and diversity. Learning is most effective when differences in learners' linguistic, cultural, and social backgrounds are taken into account. When we say diversity, it's different kinds of people, things, or ideas together in one place. Okay, so students comes from different cultures, languages, and family backgrounds. These differences affect how they understand and connect with what they learn. Teachers should respect and include these differences in teaching so everyone feels included and understood. Like for example, you're a teacher at merong transferee from Visayas at nag-aral siya sa Bicol. So habang discussions, you want to explain it in Bicol but naalala mong merong transferee. So you explain it in Filipino para maintindihan nila. So doon, you included them and respect their backgrounds. So, ang ma-feel ng students ngayon is accepted sila. Diba? Kahit different languages, different backgrounds. Okay? Para mas maintindihan nila yung lessons na tinuturo ni teacher. And another is yung mga transfer students din naman is nag-a-adjust dahil natututo sa ibang lingwahe by the help of classmates, teachers, and other. And dito sa Learning in the University, you respect your classmates who wear traditional clothes for our religious regions. And also, grouping students from different backgrounds for projects. May mga klaseng students na marunong dito sa isa, marunong mag-organize, marunong sa arts. So, group them. So, para naman, they can learn from one another. And doon, nagkakaroon ng more inclusive and meaningful learning. And lastly, standards and assessment. Setting appropriately high and challenging standards and assessing the learner as well as learner progress, including diagnostics process and outcome assessments, are integral parts of the learning process. Okay, setting high goals is important. 'Di ba? Kapag maghanap kayo ng jowa, chine-check nyo kung pasok ba sa standards or kung pasok ba sa qualities na hinahanap nyo sa isang tao. Ganun din dito. So teachers use learning standards to know what students should learn by the end of a lesson or subject. So we need to assess them regularly before, during, and after learning using different methods. So yung mga ginagamit nila is yung assessment tools like quizzes, tests, essays, or performance-based, mga portfolios, projects, reporting, participation. So, yan. Assessment is how teachers check if students are reaching those standards. Assessment helps both teachers and students progress, so it helps the teachers know who needs help, and it helps you to know what you need to work on. And that should be all. Thank you for watching and listening.